Meteorologist Justin Hobbs is here, and the radar is going off in our background, and you can see just how menacing it is.
It is.
And then you see the line of cars, people doing whatever they can to get out of harm's way, and the line of cars, we're told, is hundreds of miles long.
It's sad to watch this storm as it continues to develop. I mean, just looking at the sheer size of this, it's continuing to drop in pressure, so that's showing it's still strengthening. We're really going to see a rapid intensification overnight tonight, and especially into tomorrow right before it makes landfall. Again, likely about a Category 4.
And here on the Suncoast, we'll see remnants, as they call them?
Yeah, we'll see some of the shower bands from it. We're going to see some of those feeder bands. Those have calmed down for our night hours. We're looking for a pretty quiet night here across the coastal way, so no worries for the overnight hours. Maybe an isolated shower at most, but most of us should stay pretty quiet for the late night hours. However, we are still dealing with some other things. We're dealing with those coastal problems. We see that we have a rip current statement that is in place for the entire coastal way until Monday, 8 o'clock in the morning. So I know if you're wanting to head out to the beach for the rest of your weekend, please use caution out by the waters. Also, in addition to that, if you're thinking about getting the boat out there, not a good idea. Small craft advisory out in effect until 10 o'clock tomorrow, as we're looking at those waves up to possibly 3 to 5 feet offshore and even higher the further you get out. So again, use caution. Let's take a wide look at this storm. Clouds are really going to be heavy for us too as we go into your day tomorrow. Here's the latest look at that storm, a Category 2 storm. Now, like I said, not seeing much changes in the wind speeds per se over the last couple hours, but we've watched that pressure drop. That is still showing it's intensifying. Not only that, when we take a look at the actual storm itself, looking at the clouds around the center of it, we see these what we call hot towers around it. That shows that rapid intensification. Now, this storm has been kind of wiggly, almost like a snake. You can see on that track it's been going back and forth. It's been holding on the right side of that track, and that's what we've been worried about, watching how much further east it could push, which would put it closer to downtown New Orleans. But right now more merging towards that track, but we did have a little bit of a wiggle in it. Now, this storm earlier actually went by one of NOAA's weather buoys that was out in the waters. Check out these pictures. This was right around that 7 o'clock hour. I took these pictures from it. You can see some of the cloud banding, some of those wall clouds that we can see from that storm. Waves around this time, they're around 12 to 13 feet, but at around 12:40 today, the waves out here, they were about 21 feet at their max height. And we've seen even higher at other locations closer to the center of this storm. And we're going to see that too as it continues to progress and strengthen. Here's the latest on that track. Category 2 into the next couple of hours, but then I really think by over midnight tonight, shooting towards 1, 2 o'clock, we could likely see that become Category 3. Then right as it makes its way into Louisiana, rapidly intensifies and becomes that Category 4 status with winds up to 140 miles per hour. Could see those gusts up to 160. So if you know anyone along those evacuation zones, you can see those hurricane warnings and even tropical storm warnings, all for the entire northern Gulf. If you know anyone in that evacuation zone, make sure that they have done so by now. And if they haven't, make sure that they are getting to higher ground. Outside tonight in Punta Gorda, it's not too bad right now. 79 degrees. We're quiet here. It's going to be green for the rest of the night hours. Just a few clouds. Temperatures into about those upper 70s. Tomorrow, though, we will battle some of those feeder bands. You can see in the morning we get some of those just off the coastal way. But by the afternoon and evening, some of those will build here along the coast. With these feeder bands, you got to watch them. They can be pretty intense, bring some heavy downpours, and can be on the severe side. So we have to keep an eye on that, especially tomorrow afternoon and evening. Otherwise, out on the waters is where you're going to want to keep an eye out as well. If you're heading out tomorrow, here's what we're looking at. Those temperatures right into the 90s. We're going to be on the warm side. Rain chances higher into the afternoon. If you're heading out on the boat, not the best idea. Waters are going to be a little bit more on the choppy. Watch out, small craft advisory, as well as that rip current statement. We've got a lot to talk about as well as the tropics. We're talking not only Ida, but Tropical Depression 10, likely to become our 10th named storm tomorrow, expected to become Julian. Not only that, we now also have the Tropical Depression 11 has developed tonight. Now, luckily, these storms staying out on the Atlantic is what it looks like. And also keeping an eye a little further off the west coast of Africa. You can see we also have another disturbance we're keeping an eye out on. We're in the highlight of hurricane season. We're getting towards that peak, which is right in the first few weeks of September. But for us, the next couple days, tomorrow we'll watch for those scattered thunderstorms, about a 60% chance, better here along the coast. After we get this storm to move further north, our rain chances become more scattered to isolated, about that 40 to 30% for the rest of the week. Temperatures into about the upper 80s. Of course, we're going to keep an eye on Ida into the overnight and into tomorrow. Craig?
Tomorrow we will be nervously watching and waiting, that's for sure.